ค่ะ Thank you for joining us on Newsline. We are broadcasting live on NBT, Radio Thailand FM 88, and on NBT World. It's Friday, February the 5th, and you're with me, Tra Thirakalsan. Welcome to today's segment of Thailand Moves Forward. In our first story, the Prime Minister has called for greater care to be taken in drafting the 2017 government spending budget with an emphasis on fiscal discipline and wider dispersion. Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha has handed down policies to a meeting discussing the government expenditure budget for 2017, which was attended by high-ranking government officials, state enterprise executives, and the heads of state offices. Throughout the meeting, the attendants will be briefed on the approach to be used in drafting their budgets for next year, which have been decided with an aim to achieve the greatest benefit to the public and the nation. The Premier asked that all in attendance gain a clear understanding of the changing situation of the world so that they may draft their budgets with consideration to both domestic and international factors. He asserted that the central budget must be dispersed to all local offices with efficiency and address matters in a direct manner. He affirmed that this year, drafting of the budget would be done with stringency and fiscal discipline. The Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperatives is revising its policy towards the fishing industry to raise product quality standards. Minister of Agriculture General Chachai Sarikanya revealed that the Committee on the Agricultural Product Standards has resolved to have the Office of the Agriculture and Food and the Department of Fisheries accelerate the implementation of new standards for fish markets. The new regulations will be publicized in local newspapers to gain feedback from stakeholders and inform them of the various changes. The new policies will be fully adopted within the next 2 years. One of the new regulations is that the unloading of fish in markets must be done in accordance to new standards to prevent contamination. The new standards are also affect rafts and piers that were used for fishing. New regulations will be in place regarding product separation, transportation, exchange, and preparation for processing with the aim of raising the product quality standards and consumer safety. The Royal Thai government, through its Command Center for Combating Illegal Fishing, is implementing various measures to prevent and crack down on illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing in Thai waters. Today, we bring you a special report from the CCCIF.
Summary of progress on solving Thailand's illegal fisheries. Enforcement of the law of the sea. Develop operation order and a joint task force to enforce the law and provide training to implement and operate. Announcement to prohibit Thai fishing boats that operate outside Thai waters to transfer marine animals at sea within 180 days from 25th of December 2015. Continuous inspection of fishing boats larger than 60 gross tons fishing in the Thai waters. Inspection of fish processing factories and suppression of human trafficking in the fisheries industries. Registration for illegal migrant workers in fishing vessels and in fish processing factories, including discussion with related agencies to increase the work permit for migrant workers to 4 years. Strict law enforcement with serious penalty through enforcement of relevant laws, particularly the labor law, immigration law, and Human Trafficking Act between 1st of October to 29th of December 2015, totaling 41 cases, with 8 cases related to illegal labor in fishery sector. Cooperation with all sectors, both local and international, in drafting the joint MOU between the government agencies and fisheries operators. Overseas cooperation in order to accelerate the solving of IUU fishing and human trafficking, drafting the MOU for fisheries cooperation and resolving human trafficking in the fisheries sector with other ASEAN member states and Pacific Island countries, namely Fiji, Philippines, Myanmar, Indonesia, Vietnam, and the Pacific Island countries. There is more progress report on solving the illegal fishing problem of Thailand. Further progress will be reported in the next episode.
The Constitution Drafting Commission, or CDC, is urgently considering organic laws on elections following the National Council for Peace and Order's stipulation that a general election is organized in line with its roadmap. Chairman of the CDC, Michai Ruchupan, said that the committee had to consider organic laws on elections first so that the general election would be able to take place in July or August. He added that the committee's concerns were with many sides of lack of understanding in the content of the charter draft. The committee therefore had to disseminate information about the draft more. CDC spokesman Amon Wanit Wiwat said the CDC had agreed to produce a TV program for easy understanding of the charter draft. This 3 to 5 minute long program will be aired in the morning after 8 a.m. and in the evening after 6 p.m. The CDC also considered promoting the charter draft on radio, according to the spokesman. The National Reform Committee will debate the charter draft on February 8th until the 9th of 2016 and propose the reform items which should be included in Section 269 of the charter draft. The committee's opinions and suggestions will be forwarded to the CDC by February 15th. The Department of Disease Control, in collaboration with the Department of Health United Nations Fund for Population Activities, or UNFPA, and Thai Health Promotion Foundation, organized a press conference on the National Condom Strategy 2015 to 2019 under the theme Public-Private Partnership for Safe Love.
UNFPA Assistant Representative Wasana Im revealed the 5 components of Thailand's national condom strategy. They included normalizing condom use, supporting access to and the correct use of condoms, ensuring condoms meet quality standards, creating an enabling environment, as well as monitoring and evaluating for effectiveness.
In fact, in reality, all condoms produced and distributed in Thailand, it had been approved already by FDA in Thailand, authority in Thailand, so that should be really not a concern here. And then the fourth part, we are talking about partnership with the government, in which the theme of the discussion we have today, that we cannot work alone, the government cannot work alone on this strategy, to work with the whole society to reduce this stigma and discrimination.
Director of the Bureau of AIDS, TB, and STIs, Sumet Ongwandi, said that the Department of Disease Control is playing a great role in providing technical knowledge and encouraging all partners to work towards the same goal.
One important strategy is to prevent disease, that prevention and control the disease like HIV spreading and STI. And the role of us is to provide technical know-how and to collaborate every key partner to help together to go to the same direction. Because if other sector do that thing and we do this thing in different way, in opposite, that's not good for the country. So we try to coordinate every partner to go the same direction.
The National Condom Strategy, the first comprehensive and integrated strategy developed for Thailand in collaboration with key partners, aims to enhance the sexual well-being of the Thai people by normalizing the use of male and female condoms to prevent unwanted pregnancy, STIs, and HIV, as well as to reduce the risk of sexually transmitted cancers. I'm Niranut Traijakwanit reporting.
The Ministry of Social Development and Human Security, or MSDHS, and the Thai Community Development Center, Thai CDC, in the U.S. on Thursday held a meeting to find measures to help Thai workers in the states facing unfair treatment in the workplace. The meeting's key objective is to inform the public about roles and duties of MSDHS through the works of the Department of Women's Affairs and Family Development, or DWF, in providing assistance to Thai workers abroad who face inequality in the workplace. Recently, the ministry and the Thai CDC were able to claim 86 million baht worth of compensation from U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission for about 500 underpaid Thai workers who have been working in Washington and Hawaii since 2011. Minister of Social Development, Police General Adun Sang Sing Gao thanked Thai CDC and related agencies for giving hands to Thai citizens in need of help. He said the event is a good case study in providing social welfare to Thais working abroad and assured all underpaid Thai workers that his ministry and Thai CDC would help them claim the compensation they deserve. Ms. Panida Rozonka, the directing attorney at Thai CDC, said that education is the key element in preventing unfair treatment at work overseas.
I think education is really key. When people know that there is work abroad, they tend to seek those opportunities, but when they know that it's not happening like it should be in the contract, if anything is wrong, if they're getting threats, they need to go ahead and notify someone immediately.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Thailand held a seminar on understanding the TPP from an academic aspect. Dr. Dunden Nikom Borirak showed us that Thailand faces an economic downturn because of the country's structural economic problems. It's the first time that the private sector has urged the government to participate in the free trade area, as they believe that joining TPPs will address the issue. However, joining TPP is impossible just now, as it takes 3 years for TPP member countries to ratify new conditions for new members. So Thailand still has time to consider whether it stands ready to join the TPP. She also reviewed that some issues such as transparency and competitive markets that TPP encourages its members to implement are a good form of reformation for Thailand. All speakers, including Dr. Dunden, agreed that it couldn't be concluded whether Thailand should join TPP in the short term and that TPP is not a zero-sum game. As Thailand can't join TPP immediately, she said Thailand still has about 3 years to apply for the membership. Tomorrow is the first day of the Chinese New Year, and the biggest and best place to absorb the Chinese atmosphere would be at Yaowarat. For more on this, Kun Panot Sinsap reports.
Ni hao ma, Sinian Kuai-le. I'm here at Yaowarat, Thailand's prominent Chinatown. As it is Chinese New Year and the Chinese community here is one of the biggest in the world outside China, you can see numerous places decorated with red lanterns, people cleaning their homes and residents eager to welcome the New Year, and of course, wear this new red Chinese attire.
One traditional activity at this time is a cleaning day, when people clean their houses to welcome the annual festival. While that may sound like a hard work, there is also a shopping day, when people go out to buy special offerings and enjoy acquiring new items for a fresh start in the new year. And as usual, the Department of Internal Trade, or DIT, has been carrying out inspections of grocery retail prices in market across Thailand prior to the Chinese New Year festival to ensure a steady supply of products and, most importantly, no overpricing during this period of increased consumer demand.
As tomorrow is a shopping day, if you happen to spot prices that you feel are marked up, overly expensive, or short in supply, you can contact the DIT's hotline on 569 to report it. อุ๊ยอร่อยมากเลยอะครับ
แน่นอนสิคะถ้าใครมาเยาวราชนะไม่กินลูกชิ้นกุ้งเจ๊แดงถือว่าผิดและมาไม่ถึงเยาวราชอร่อยไหม
อร่อยมากอร่อยมาก
This year, Thais of Chinese descent would buy groceries for the household on the 6th, observe spiritual ceremonies together on the 7th, and on the 8th, get together to mark Chinese New Year, which is a day of travel and relaxation with family and friends. And if you happen to be in Bangkok on the 8th and 9th, the Tourism Authority of Thailand will be organizing a Grand Chinese New Year 2016 event at Yaowarat. There will be a great variety of Thai and Chinese food available, together with numerous cultural performances, dragon parades, and lion dances. Furthermore, the Chinese Ministry of Culture has prepared special cultural shows from 9 famous troupes and more than 180 performers as a special gift, bringing good fortune to the people of Thailand. The shows will take place at various locations on February 8th and 9th.
So Yaowarat is a really great place to be this Monday and Tuesday. This report is from Chinatown just prior to the Chinese New Year celebrations. Camera work by Pornmuk Kunsuthi and Amponos Seasonsap in BT World.
Suvarnabhumi International Airport, together with the Provincial Police Division and related agencies, have launched safety measures in order to address street racing. Suvarnabhumi Airport has collaborated with the Provincial Police Division to prevent car and motorcycle racing on Suvarnabhumi Road. Director of the Security Department of Suvarnabhumi Airport, Kittipong Kittikachon, recently held a press conference stressing the importance of Suvarnabhumi Airport as the main airport of Thailand and its role in maintaining the country's image. Related agencies are working together to tighten security measures against racing, which endangers the lives of both the racers and travelers alike.
Street racing news and social media, Suvarnabhumi Airport and the police are collaborating to prevent and suppress groups of people who took the public road for car and motorcycle racing. From now on, street racing cases will be taken seriously, as charges will be filed against both car and motorcycle street racers. Since roads in the area of Suvarnabhumi Airport are considered the first impression of the country, Suvarnabhumi Airport sees the safety of commuters and travelers as the main priority. Anyone who causes trouble will be punished.
Mr. Kittipong explained that the roads surrounding and connected to the entrance of Suvarnabhumi Airport are considered a popular circuit among motorbikes and car racers, and the police have already set up 3 checkpoints on Suvarnabhumi Road and the nearby area to monitor any illegal activity. And that's the end of today's edition of Thailand Moves Forward. And next in ASEAN News, we go to India's Vice President Hamid Ansari's keynote speech at Chulalongkorn University. But before that, let's take a look at the exchange rates and commodity prices.
ships of bounty fill the trawlers till I dance in thanks to thee.
Welcome back. You're watching Newsline. Chulalongkorn University's Indian Studies Center and Office of Art and Culture organized a keynote speech on India, Thailand, and ASEAN contours of a rejuvenated relationship. Hamid Ansari, Vice President of the Republic of India, delivered the speech at Music Hall Art and Culture Building, saying that the Thai and Indian relationship has reached its strongest point, with the latter keen to promote bilateral defense ties through technical and human resource development and capacity enhancement. In addition, ASEAN is considered a strategic partner of India, which has always sought to enhance mutual cooperation and benefits in all aspects under the three ASEAN pillars: politics and security, economics, and socioculture. India has been enthusiastic in its efforts to support ASEAN connectivity, or the economic corridor, which is to benefit all countries in the region. In terms of educational cooperation, India has contributed to 3 ASEAN scholarships, namely the ASEAN-India Cooperation Fund, the ASEAN-India Science and Technology Fund, and the ASEAN-India Green Fund. In other news, China will provide 1,000 tons of food aid to support Syrian refugees, according to a statement by Foreign Minister Wang Yi at the Supporting Syria and the Region conference in London. Wang said that China has already given Syria and the surrounding nations a total of 685 million yuan, or about $104 million in aid. He noted that President Xi Jinping also announced at the G20 meeting in Antalya $100 million of aid for the displaced and the refugees. Wang also stressed the importance of political progress in resolving Syrian crisis and called on the international community to make joint efforts in such progress. British Prime Minister David Cameron announced that leaders and diplomats from 70 countries that met in London have pledged more than $10 billion of aid to help millions of Syrians displaced by war. He said the money would provide millions with life-saving food, medical care, and shelter. In addition, he said a million jobs and 1 million school places for refugees in bordering countries would be created. Greece almost came to a standstill on Thursday during the first 24-hour general strike of 2016. The mobilization was organized by labor unions in protest of the pension system reform that the government is currently discussing with leaders as a prerequisite for the disbursement of further loans to Athens. According to local media commentators, it was one of the most impressive anti-austerity mobilizations since 2010. More than 60,000 protesters, according to police estimates, participated in the rallies in central Athens, marching peacefully to the parliament as public services nationwide were paralyzed. The walkout, which was called by the umbrella unions of private and public sector employees, General Confederation of Greek Workers, and Civil Servants Confederation, is the largest mobilization the left-led government has faced a year after taking office, as a wide range of professionals hit the streets in an escalation of a new round of protests that started this autumn. On Thursday, lawyers marched next to farmers who sent delegations to Athens as they continued their protests across the country for a third week by blocking national highway junctions and border crossings in northern Greece for several hours each day. And that's it for today's edition of Newsline. For any comments or suggestions, please feel free to email them to us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook. Just simply type in NNT or check out our website at thainews.prd.go.th/en. We're going to say goodbye now with footage of 6 giant panda cubs making their debut in southwest China's Sichuan province. I'm Tra Chirakasan. Have a wonderful day. Swadee ka.